Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is the story about what if Naruto was Tobirama's grandson and had ice release. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. So without any further ado, let's start the what if. Hokage Tower, Hiruzen's office. As one of the most stressful days for the Hokage has come, meaning the Chunin exams, Hiruzen was surprisingly sitting on his couch, relaxing, with a cup of tea in his hand. As he relaxed, he couldn't help but smirk at his 4 shadow clones, who are currently slaving away the piles of paperwork on his desk. They even gave him a few glares every time he chuckles at their pain. I can't believe I haven't thought of this before. You should be the next Professor Naruto-kun. I wonder if Tobirama-sensei had the same idea as well, when he created this jutsu. If so, shame on you, sensei, for not telling me. My back has been killing me, for sitting on that damn chair all day. Hiruzen said to himself, as he took a sip of his tea and laid back with an overdue relaxation. But his moment of peace was halted, when he heard a firm knock coming from the door. Come in, Hiruzen called out, as he sits up a little straighter. But the person who walked in, immediately made the old Hokage leaned back down on his seat and narrowed his eyes. What do you want, Danzo? I'm very busy, Hiruzen said, as he turned away from his old friend, and took another sip of his tea. Danzo then saw the 4 shadow clones of Hiruzen, and could only smirk with amusement. I see you made an ingenious use with Lord Tobirama's jutsu. Very impressive. But I didn't take you're the type to slack off on your duties, Hiruzen. Danzo said. Did you come here to tell me something, or criticize me? If it's the latter, you know where the door is, Hiruzen said with annoyance. Neither. I am merely here to ask a question, Danzo stated. And what question is that? Hiruzen asked with narrowed eyes. Why did you invite Kumigakure to the Chunin exams? Danzo asked. Are you asking me, as one the village elders, or an old friend? Hiruzen asked back. I was hoping. Trick question, Shimura. You will always ask me as a village elder, because that is what you only are. And you'll address me as Lord Hokage. Do I make myself clear? Hiruzen stated firmly. Danzo said nothing, as he simply glared at Hiruzen. That wasn't a rhetorical question, answer me. Hiruzen pushed, much to Danzo's annoyance. Yes, Lord Hokage. Danzo said bitterly. Good. And to answer your previous question, for almost a year now, I have been in talks with the 4th Raikage. We were discussing the possibility of an alliance between our hidden villages. But given our history, it was obviously not an easy process. So far, we only agreed on a non-aggression pact, but we both know that will not last forever, nor benefit our village's growth. So as a show of good faith, and the spirit of moving forward, I sincerely invited Kumo to participate and guarantee their shinobi's safety, before and after the duration of the exams. Hiruzen explained. Permission to speak, Lord Hokage? Danzo asked, with a slight venom in his voice. You may, Danzo, Hiruzen answered. While I understand your diplomatic reason, do you really believe it is wise to ally ourselves with a hidden village that has harmed ours, as much as Uegakure? The kidnapping attempt of Kushina Uzumaki and the Hyuga heiress have not been forgotten. Nor the sacrifice of Lord Tobirama, who gave his life for ours, during the First Great Shinobi World War. There are some in the council, who will not stand for their presence here, Danzo informed. And by some, you mean yourself, Koharu and Hamura? Hiruzen asked, with a bit of sarcasm. And Hayashi Hyuga. Danzo finished with a smirk. Hearing this, was enough for Hiruzen to let out a deep sigh as he rubbed his temples soothingly, from all the stress. He knew the Hyugas hold a deep grudge against Kumo, and will likely spark a great level of hostility between them. Something that this village does not need right now. I will speak with Hayashi-san by the end of the day. He needs to know that I am doing thing for the good of Konoha's future. Hiruzen stated. Danzo simply scoffed at the last sentence, from the old Hokage. The good of Konoha's future, huh? Do you know what the future of Konoha really is? Danzo asked, which made Hiruzen narrowed his eyes, as he continued. It's the thousands blades of our enemies. A story that we agreed to tell each other over and over, until we eventually realized, it is too late. As the soft ideals of the Senju will only lead to a weakened Konoha. Danzo stated. And what do we have left, once we abandon those ideals? Chaos. A gaping pit waiting to swallow us all, while the fires of war drowns out the screams of the innocent, all because we betrayed what made this village strong and united. Hiruzen stated firmly. This merely made the old warhawk chuckle with amusement. Chaos isn't a pit, chaos is a ladder. Many tried to climb, but fail. And never get to try again. Because the fall breaks them. And some were given the chance to climb, but they refuse. Instead, they cling to their blissful purposeless lives. But it is all an illusion. In the end, only the ladder is real, and war is what make us true shinobi, Danzo stated. If we are done discussing different philosophies, you may leave now. Hiruzen said angrily. Very well, Lord Hokage, Danzo said. With Team 10, the Shinobi Academy. After he found his young team of genins wondering about, Asuma is now leading Naruto, Ino, and Shikamaru directly to room 301. Naruto had explained to their sensei about their little encounter with the ever-so-youthful Rock Lee, and how he practically wiped the floor with Sasuke in their taijutsu fight. And after their unfortunate meeting with his very energetic sensei. Ha 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 ha, so you three already met Guy and his taijutsu apprentice, huh? That's a tough one. Asuma said as he symptomized with his team. You telling me? I just want to give them some new set of clothes and eyebrow tweezers. Ino cried out. Appearances aside, that Lee is no joke. Sasuke has a mature Sharingan now, and yet he can't keep up with his speed. He's definitely someone to keep an eye on. Shikamaru stated. Agreed. And judging from his chakra level, and the way he talks about his taijutsu, I'm getting the feeling he's not really skilled in either ninjutsu and genjutsu. Naruto added in, as he was able to analyze Lee with his sensory ability. So, if we use long-distance ninjutsu or any sort of genjutsu, we'll definitely have Lee in a disadvantage. But I think we need a way to slow him down first. To match his speed, he must have tremendous amount of strength and stamina. Maybe we should focus on our defense first, before we face him head-on. Ino pointed out. Asuma couldn't help but be impressed with their skills of deduction. Look at you guys. The exams have not even started yet, and you're already conspiring to beat one of the candidates. I'm so proud. Asuma praised, and had Ryo signs on both his eyes, thinking about the high possibility that his team will definitely make him a lot of money in this exam. Naruto merely rolled his eyes at this. Sensei, I can literally sense your greed. Naruto informed. You can sense that, too? Asuma asked, slightly surprised that Naruto could sense the feeling of avarice as well. Well, greed is considered a negative emotion, so. Naruto answered. Alright fine, you caught me. In full disclosure, I bet all three of you will make it to the final stage of the exam. Plus a bonus, if you guys get promoted. Asuma confessed shamelessly. Such a role model, Naruto, Ino and Shikamaru thought sarcastically, with a sweat drop. They then finally arrived at the entrance of the actual room 301. Any last-minute words of wisdom, sensei? Ino asked sarcastically. Yeah. Asuma said, as he turned to face his genin team. I just want to say that I'm proud of you guys. I know each of you will give it your all. But most importantly, watch out for each other. Because I don't care if I lose this bet, I just want you three back, in one piece. Can you do that for me? Asuma asked, trying his best to sound cool, yet caring at the same time. But his heartfelt concern didn't go unnoticed, as Ino walked forward and hugged Asuma tightly, surprising the Sarutobi. "We will, Asuma-sensei." "And thank you," Ino said softly, as she continues to hug her sensei. Asuma then gently patted her platinum blonde head, and smiled for the sincere gesture. But since he didn't want to look soft in front of his Genin team, he let out a fake cough to break the tender moment. "Ahem, alright, go on now. You guys are crapping my style," Asuma said nonchalantly, as he broke the hug with Ino. "Haha, we love you too, sensei," Naruto said with a bright smile, as he then led Ino and Shikamaru into the examination room, ready to meet their fate. When they finally entered, Asuma let out a breath that he didn't realize he was holding, and began to walk away, until he heard a familiar yet angelic voice, calling out to him. "Are you okay, Asuma-kun?" Asuma turned his head, and saw his beautiful raven-haired girlfriend, leaning against a wall, with her arms crossed. He was immediately captivated by her enchanting beauty and ruby-colored eyes, as they stare at him, with a loving concern. "Kurenai-chan?" "Yeah, it's just that. You're worried." Kurenai finished for him, with a frown. "Yeah," Asuma said, as he looked down on the floor. Kurenai then walked forward, and stood in front of the tall Sarutobi. "Hey," Kurenai said, as she placed her gentle hand on Asuma's cheek, so he could look into her concerned eyes. "I'm worried about my team too. But we both know that we didn't recommend them if we didn't think that they were ready. All we could do now is just believe in them and hope for the best," she finished with a soft smile. Her smile alone was enough to calm his worried heart, as he reached out for her soft hand that was on his cheek, and squeezed it tightly. "Haha, I suppose you're right." He smiled back at her, appreciating her presence and kindness. His tone then turned serious, when he remembered what his ruby-eyed girlfriend has been stressing over for the past few months. He only hopes that she still wasn't stressed about it, now. "But how about you, though? How's your investigation going?" Asuma asked, with great concern in his voice. This immediately removed the warm smile from her beautiful face, as it is now replaced with a saddened look. "You mean my dead-end investigation of the Kurama clan's disappearance?" "Not great," Kurenai answered, disappointedly. "Geez, I don't get it though. I've been asking around like you wanted, but it always leads to one simple question. How could an entire clan just disappear? With no evidence and nothing?" Asuma asked himself, as he continues to wonder. Sigh, "I don't know. I've been doing this investigation for months now, even between missions with Team 8. Yet, I still can't find a damn clue." Kurenai tightened her fist with frustration, but failing to contain the growing sadness in her eyes. I just can't believe I failed her again." Kurenai let out a small tear, as she cursed herself, remembering her failure as a teacher to her first genjutsu apprentice. "Babe, come on, don't say that," Asuma said, as he comforted her with a hug, letting the genjutsu mistress cry on his shoulder. "You did everything you could for Yakumo," Asuma finished. "But it wasn't enough." Kurenai mumbled in his chest, as she lifted her head to look into his eyes. Maybe if I was a sensei like Guy Moore, with Lee, things would have been different. And now Yakumo is gone. She was such a bright and hopeful young girl, who just wanted to be a kunoichi of Konoha, who specializes in only genjutsu, but I took that dream away from her," Kurenai said, cursing herself even more. "Kurenai-chan, you had no choice but to seal up her power. You told me, if her powers are left unchecked, her Edo personality would take over her body, and potentially destroy Konoha," Asuma reasoned, trying to lift some of the guilt off her shoulders. "That still doesn't make what I did, right, Asuma-kun?" Kurenai said bitterly, as she rested her forehead on his shoulder. "I know, Kurenai-chan," Asuma said, as he pulled Kurenai in for another tight hug, and gently rubbed her head. "I'm sorry," he whispered softly, as he kissed her forehead. "It's not your fault, but thank you," Kurenai said, as she eases herself in his loving embrace. Always managed to find comfort with the tall handsome Sarutobi. She cringed a bit when his vest smelled like cigarettes, but decided to scold him later. Kurenai then gently broke the hug between them, as she wipes the leftover tears in her eyes. Luckily the makeup she wore was special, so the tears didn't ruin them. She simply gave the Sarutobi another warm smile. "I'm sorry, Asuma-kun. I didn't mean to put my troubles on you." She apologized. "Haha, isn't that what a secret boyfriend is for?" Asuma asked, with a cheeky smirk. Kurenai giggled as she smiled brightly at him. She then looked around to see if the coast is clear, and later leaned in and kissed Asuma on the lips. The kiss was not long, but the level of passion it had was absolute mind-blowing for the Sarutobi. Her lips were as soft and luscious as he remembered. And he could have sworn she tasted like peaches. His hands wrap around her slim waist, as hers were comfortably around his neck. When the kiss was over, they simply stare into each other's eyes, absolutely loving the warm presence of one another. "Come on, I'm actually here to bring you to the Jonin Lounge. Everyone else should be there by now," Kurenai said, as she held both his hand with hers. "Lead the way, babe." Room 301. Stares. Glares. Targeted. Fawning. Those were the uncomfortable feelings that Naruto, Ino and Shikamaru got when they entered the supposed examination room of the first test. Most of the other genins looked several years older than them. All range from Konoha, Leaf, Taki, Waterfall, Suna, Sand, Aim, Rain, Kusa, Grass, Odo, Sound, and surprisingly Kyumo, Cloud. They were trying their best to look scary and tough, but Naruto simply scoffed. But he did notice Ino and Shikamaru were slightly affected by their intimidation display. Since being under the radar is no longer an option for them, might as well go over it and show them who's boss. "You call that a killing intent? My grandpa can do better than that. But since you donkeys are kindly enough to show us yours, let me show you mine." Naruto yelled out, as he releases his overwhelming and gut-wrenching level of killing intent that could literally kill the faintest of heart. A small trick he learned from his Gigi. All the genins' eyes widened as they struggled to breath. They felt like they were drowning and could barely move a muscle. They even felt cold, like the entire room temperature just dropped to 0. Surprisingly though, some were less affected. Naruto noticed the exceptions were his fellow Jinchurikis, Gaara, Fu and Yugito. Gaara gave him a death glare, while Fu simply gave a cute wave and a bright smile. Yugito on the other hand looked slightly aroused, as she was biting her lip and rubbing her inner thighs together. She even looked like she was having an internal battle in her mind. Probably with the two tails. Then there are the two Kusa Kunoichis that caught Naruto's attention. One was a girl his age, with red hair and glasses. For some reason, her chakra is very different yet oddly familiar to the blonde. It wasn't extremely large like his, but it was strong and full of life. The other Kusa Kunoichi, on the other hand, had a very disturbing presence to the blonde. She looked several years older, but her chakra reserves is Kage level, and yet both Naruto and Kurama did not sense the presences of another Jinchuriki. Her chakra felt dark, twisted and evil. Naruto narrowed his eyes at her when he noticed that she was unaffected by his killing intent. Also the fact that she was staring at him, and licked her lips, with her unusually long tongue. Naruto was snapped back to reality, when he felt a pair of arms wrapped around his neck. He turned around, and saw it was Fu, who was currently on his back with a cute smile. Salutations, friend Naruto. That was a very impressive display of killing intent. I can see several individuals manage to urinate and defecate their pants. Fu said excitedly and loudly, which causes several genins to hide their shame. Naruto was once again impressed that he could not detect her presence, and she was able to sneak behind him, without him noticing. He reminded himself to be very cautious with the mint-haired girl in the future. But judging from her soft and cheerful gaze towards him, it is likely that she will never harm him unprovoked. Hello, Fu. Not with your teammates again? Naruto asked. Nope. My teammates are in the process of drying their pants, as well. So I am here to be with my dear friend, Naruto, Fu said with a smile, tightening her hold over him, and rubbing her soft cheek against his, in an affectionate manner. Ino is practically twitching her eye like it was broken, and practically growling at the mint-haired girl, as she tightens her fist in anger. Haha, well, it is good to see you too, Fu, Naruto said with a warm smile, while trying his best to fight off the growing blush on his cheeks, as he could feel a pair of soft breasts pressing against his back, and the cheek-to-cheek contact was not helping. And you can get off of him now, Ino said, out of annoyance. Fu then noticed the angry look from the blonde Yamanaka, and smirked when she realized that the blonde wanted to challenge her friendship. She refuses to yield and surrender her Naruto. Nope. Friend Naruto's back is very warm and comfortable. I will remain here, until further notice, Fu said with a straight face, not realizing that her comment made the Yamanaka even more angrier. Ino's platinum blonde hair is practically showing signs of imminent combustion at this point. However, the tension-filled feud between the two beautiful kunoichis was broken, when Team 10 heard a familiar voice calling out to them. I would be careful if I were you, Naruto. Ino just might kiss you in front of everyone and declare you hers again. The voice came from none other than Kiba Inuzuka, who was approaching them with the stoic Shino, and a nervous-looking Sakura behind him. It is good to see you again, Naruto-san, Shino said with a monotone voice. Hi Naruto-kun, it's been a while. Sakura said nervously, as she looked down on the ground, unable to look at her crush in the eye, which saddens Naruto slightly. Seeing her friends again, was able to calm Ino down slightly. Guys! Wow, it feels like forever since the last time we saw you 3-inch, Ino said with a warm smile, but immediately frowned when she saw the upset-looking Sakura, who couldn't even look her in the eyes either. Can't believe you guys came. This exam just got a lot more troublesome. Shikamaru said with a lazy sigh. Huh, what's the matter, Shikamaru? Scared that my team will beat yours? Kiba challenged with a smirk. I find that highly unlikely. Why do you ask? Is because Naruto-san will probably beat us all, with minimum effort, Shino said with his logic. Shut up, Shino. You're not helping. Kiba yelled out with an embarrassed blush. Kiba then finally got a good look at the strange, yet extremely cute exotic girl on Naruto's back, and could only smirk as he leans in, to whisper into Naruto's ear. Hey Naruto, who's the babe? Your side action? Kiba asked with a smirk. Kiba, no. She's my friend. And I think Ino heard what you said. Naruto said, as he pointed at the fiery blonde who was burning a hole at the Inuzuka's head with her glare. I'm just joking, Ino, hahaha, Kiba said, as he laughs nervously, and cowers behind Sakura. Then the 6+1 Genins heard another familiar voice approaching them. It was Sasuke, with happy-looking Hinata, and chip-munching Choji behind him. Well, what do you know? It looks like the whole gang's back together. I guess this exam is gonna be easier than I thought, Sasuke said with a smirk. Hi Naruto-kun, Hinata said with a smile. Hi Hinata. Naruto responded with his own smile, then he turns his attention back to Sasuke. Big talk from a guy who got his ass kicked, not 20 minutes ago, Naruto jested with a smirk. TSK, I was caught off guard. It won't happen again. Besides, could you blame me for not taking him seriously at first? Sasuke pointed out. Fair point, Naruto agreed. Man. Everyone's here for this stupid exam. Shikamaru pointed out. Yep. Here we all are. The 9 rookies. Choji said, while munching his chips. Hahaha, yeah, this is going to be fun. I can't wait to beat you guys down, and show everyone who's the new top dog, Kiba said excitedly, but apparently Shino disagrees. Again, I find that highly unlick. I heard you the last time, Shino. Kiba yelled out. Naruto was smiling as he was enjoying the amusing conversations between his friends. Despite Fu still clinging on his back, it felt very nice to be surrounded by people who he considers to be his family. And if things go well, the mint-haired girl could be a part of it as well, since she strongly desires friendship. But then Naruto narrowed his eyes when he senses someone approaching them. It was an older boy with silver hair, who wore a set of glasses that looked strangely familiar to the blonde Senju. As if he saw them before. For some reason, the silver-haired boy's chakra reserves is around high Jonin level, which is odd for a genin that is neither a Jinchuriki nor an Uzumaki. He approached the 10+ Fu genins with a friendly smile. "Hey, you guys. You might want to try keeping it down a little. I mean, no offense, but you're the 9 rookies, right? Fresh out of the academy. I wouldn't go making a spectacle of yourselves. Just cool it, this isn't a class field trip." The silver-haired boy pointed out with a smirk. "Well, who asked you? Who are you?" Ino asked irately. "I'm Kabuto Yakushi," the silver-haired boy said. The second he said his name, Naruto's eyes instantly turned vermilion red, but immediately switched back to his violet orbs. Flashback. "I can't tell you. It's a confidential mission to the land of Earth from Old Superior. But let's just say that if everything goes well, I will be able to find my long-lost son, Kabuto," Mother Nono said, with a hopeful smile. Flashback end. Kabuto, he's Mother Nono's son. I knew I recognized those glasses. But if he's here, doesn't that mean she's back in the village too? Back at the orphanage? No, she knew where my new apartment is. She would have come and visit, and tell me herself, but it has been 8 years. And this guy is talking like he has been in the village for a while now, Naruto thought, as he narrowed his eye suspiciously at the silver-haired boy. I mean, aside from the blonde one there. Kabuto points at Naruto. "You guys are not really making good impression," Kabuto said, as pointed to the other genins in the room, who were glaring daggers at the rookies except Naruto, whose gaze they were trying to avoid out of fear for their lives. "See, but don't take it personally. They are just touchy. They all are. This exam makes everyone tense, and you don't want to rub them the wrong way, right now," Kabuto stated. "Noted," Sakura said nervously. "But I'm sure you can't help it. I mean, how could you know how things work? You're just rookies. You remind me of my old self a while back," Kabuto said with a friendly smile. "Kabuto, that is your name, right?" Naruto asked as he approached the silver-haired boy. Sensing the tense muscles on his back, Fu reluctantly got off Naruto, much to Ino's relief. "That's right, why do you ask?" Kabuto replied. "Because I can recognize some of the Konoha genins in this room, aside from my group here. So tell me, why have I not seen you before?" Naruto asked with a suspicious tone. "Oh, I'm sure it's understandable. I try to keep a low profile, since I'm not really the type who likes to be put under the spotlight. Plus, my team and I hardly interact with other genins," Kabuto answered. "And yet here you are, interacting with us. Why now?" Naruto asked, as he was practically interrogating him. "Like I said, you guys reminded me of my old self a while back. So I guess I got little nostalgic and couldn't help thinking about the time when I first took the exam," Kabuto said. "And how many times you took the exam?" Ino asked, knowing an interrogation when she sees one. 7 times, including now," Kabuto answered. All the rookie 9 gasped from shock, excluding Naruto, Ino, and Sasuke, who are already suspicious of the silver-haired boy. "Well, they are held twice a year. So this will be my 4th year," Kabuto answered. "For years, where are you, Mother Nono?" Naruto asked sadly in his thoughts. "Wow, a veteran. You must really be an expert by now," Hinata pointed out. "Yeah, sort of," Kabuto said. "Cool. Maybe you can give us all the inside tips," Choji said. "Yeah, some expert. He's never passed," Shikamaru pointed out, as he rolled his eyes. "Well, 7th times the charm. That's what they, right? Kabuto said, as he rubbed the back of his head embarrassingly. So I guess the rumors about the Chunin exam being tough are true then. Oh man, I knew this was going to be troublesome, Shikamaru said with a lazy sigh. Hang on, don't give up hope yet. Maybe I can help you kids out a little. Kabuto said, as he took a deck of cards from his back pouch, with my ninja info card. Kabuto said, as he showed them his cards. What the heck are ninja info cards? Sakura asked. It's hard to explain, but these cards have been chakra encoded with everything I've learned over the past 4 years. Kabuto then bent down to one knee, and placed the cards on the floor. I've got more than 200 of them. So you see, I haven't been completely wasting my time. They may not look like much to the naked eye. In fact, they appear blank. Kabuto showed the other side of a card that shows nothing. Don't want just anyone seeing this stuff, Kabuto finished, as he placed his index finger on one of the card and started spinning it with his chakra. What are you doing? Ino asked. You see, I'm using my chakra to reveal their secrets. Like this for example. Kabuto said, and revealing that particular card's info, showing a map. Awesome. A map, Sakura said. A map of what? Ino asked. It shows the geographical distribution of all the candidates who came to take the Chunin exam. What village they come from, and how many from each village. Why do you guys think they come here to take the exam together at the same time? Kabuto asked. It's to foster friendship between nations. International brotherhood and all that, Naruto answered. That's right, and it's true enough, as far as it goes. Kabuto stated. But there is another reason. Sasuke pointed out. Yeah. You see, the important thing is that this way, they can regulate the total number of shinobi that end up in each village. Thereby maintaining the balance of power. Kabuto said. Balance of power. Big deal, it's all troublesome, Shikamaru said lazily. Kabuto then resealed the map card, returning it back to a blank page. If the balance isn't maintained, our nation could wind up with more shinobi than its neighbors, and it might be tempted to attack them. So they try to maintain the status quo. Makes sense, I suppose. Kabuto said. While Naruto was listening intently, he still couldn't stop staring at Kabuto's glasses. It is the same pair that had always made him feel so happy every time he sees them as a child. Naruto could literally feel many negative emotions coming from the silver-haired boy, but he managed to cleverly hide it behind a very believable friendly demeanor. He can fool everyone else, but Naruto is a liar's worst enemy. You can hide your face and disguise your words, but you can never lie to your own emotions. Naruto then sensed 3 other genins approaching from behind him. One of whom happens to be a fellow Jinchuriki. Interesting fact. I hope you don't mind us listening in. Sometimes I get a little curious, for my own good, Yugito said with a smirk, as she approached the large group with her teammates and stood beside Naruto. Hey Yugito. Naruto greeted with a smile, and then leans closer into her ear. Was that a cat pun? Naruto asked with a smirk. You know it, Yugito said with a seductive tone, as she leans closer to Naruto in a flirtatious manner, which caused several people to have different reactions. Naruto was blushing, Ino was furious, Sakura was annoyed, while Kiba was green with jealousy. How come Naruto gets all the babes? He thought. Back off, kitty cat. Ino yelled out, as she stood beside Naruto. Era, I see the flower princess has thorns. And here I thought the Yamanakas are known to be the elegant type, Yugito mocked. Yugito, please behave yourself. It's bad enough I have to deal with Omoi's bad habit of overthinking, but now I have stand here, and watch you waste your affections on some Konoha Bibo, Karui said in annoyance at first, but the second she saw Naruto's handsome face, she lost her train of thought. Agreed. If you enter a relationship with this Konoha shinobi, Lord Raikage will be very upset, but what happens if she ignores our warning? What happens if she falls in love with him? What if he returns those feelings? What if Yugito decided to stay in Konoha, just to be with him? Lord Araikage would declare war on Konoha out of spite. Many lives will be lost. All because two people from different countries could not resist their forbidden love for each other. And I eventually have to step up, if Lord Araikage should fall in battle. We wowlo WW. Omoi finally stopped his rambling, when Karui hit him in the head. Stop overthinking. Karui yelled out. Yeah. Besides, that will never happen. Because Naruto-kun is my boyfriend. Ino pointed out, and sticks out her tongue at the cat girl. For now, Yugito said with a smirk, as she flicked Ino's nose. Ow. Ino yelped in pain and pouted angrily, as she rubbed her nose. Bitch, Ino said under her breath. Kiba could not contain his jealousy any longer. Naruto is his friend, but he is practically living his fantasy. Hell, he is living every guy's fantasy. That should have been him. Seriously, Naruto. Kiba set out the blue, which caught Naruto's attention, first Ino, then the mint-haired cutie, and now this blonde vixen. Why are you such a beautiful man? Kiba yelled out all of a sudden, with a defeated tone and sad anime tears. He probably didn't mean to word it out like that, though. Why indeed were the thoughts of Ino, Fu, Yugito, Sakura, Hinata, Karui and even Temari and Tenten which were at the front of classroom, who managed to heard Kiba's loud question. Sorry. Naruto apologized, for some reason. Thank you for the compliment, but let's just be friends. Fu said with a smile. Sorry, but I'm more of a cat person, Yugito informed. Kiba was practically depressed by now. Why can't Naruto just leave some ladies for everyone else? Sasuke, however, wanted to get back to the topic at hand, and decided to ask the silver-haired boy a question. Do those cards of yours have any info on the other candidates, individually? Sasuke asked. They might. You have someone special in mind? Kabuto asked with a smirk. I might. Sasuke answered, with narrowed eyes. I can't promise my information is complete or perfect, but I've got something on just about everyone, including you guys, of course. Kabuto informed. That's not suspicious at all, Naruto and Ino thought sarcastically. So, which one is it? Tell me anything you know about them. A description. Where they're from, whatever. Anything at all, Kabuto asked. Rock Lee, and Naruto Senju, of Konoha, Sasuke asked, surprising Naruto and everyone else. Man, that's no fun. You even know their names. That makes it easy. How about the rest of you guys? Kabuto asked the rest of the genins. Ino was very suspicious of Kabuto. She knew Yakushi was the last name of Naruto's surrogate mother that disappeared years ago. She could only imagine what Naruto feels right now. But she might as well take this as an opportunity to see what else he knows. Tell me about Yugito ni, of Kumo, Ino asked, which made Yugito and rest of her teammates narrow their eyes at her. If that's the case, tell me about Ino Yamanaka, of Konoha, Yugito demanded with a smirk. I want to learn more about Gaara-kun. Tell me about Gaara, of Suna, Fu said excitedly, which made Gaara and his siblings narrowed their eyes at her, since they were close enough to hear their conversation. How about you? Naruto, was it? Kabuto asked Naruto directly, since he noticed Naruto was staring at him with an analytic glare. I want to know about Kabuto Yakushi, Naruto demanded with a straight face, which made Kabuto and everyone else to look at him, with wide eyes. Sorry to say, but I don't keep my own record in this deck, Kabuto answered. Then there is no reason to trust you. You clearly know so much about us, but we don't know jack shit about you. And that makes me nervous. The way I see it, you might be more dangerous than you look, Kabuto, Naruto pointed out, which made everyone else see his point of view, and agreed along, which Kabuto noticed. I do see your point, Naruto. But honestly, there is nothing special about me," Kabuto assured. "I don't believe you," Naruto said with narrowed eyes. Kabuto can literally feel the killing intent that is radiating from the blonde. The way Naruto was looking at him, like he already knows who he is, and prepares to kill him where he stands. He even noticed the rest of the genins are siding with him as well. So in order to remain his cover, he knew he needed to sacrifice his own info, for the sake of the mission. Alright, Kabuto said, admitting defeat, as he reached into his back pouch, and took a single shinobi card. "Here it is." "My own card," Kabuto said. "Show me," Naruto demanded. Kabuto then placed the card on the floor, as used his chakra to unlock its secrets, revealing his info. "Like I said before, I'm not really that special. As you can see, my skills mostly rely on taijutsu, but I also know a little medical ninjutsu. In other words, I am my team's medic. Our mission experience are only 89 D ranks and 30 C ranks. I know it's not much for a genin team, for almost 4 years, but we do our best. Unfortunately, our squad leader passed away some time ago, so we don't have a Jonin sensei at the moment, but my team elected me as the temporary leader. My teammates are Yoroi Akato and Misumi Tsurugi," Kabuto informed. Everyone was a little surprised that his team didn't have a Jonin sensei, but it's not really a rare case, unless the genins are old enough and experienced enough to work independently. What also caught their interest is that he knew medical ninjutsu, which is very rare for a shinobi, especially a genin. To perform it, one must have near-perfect chakra control and extensive knowledge of the human body. This confirmed Naruto's suspicion of Kabuto. He knew Mother Nono was a medical ninja and a very good one too. In his own personal opinion, she was almost as great as his cousin Tsunade. She would occasionally treat his wounds whenever someone physically harmed him when he was child. She was practically his guardian angel. "So, I hope this is enough to earn your trust," Kabuto said hopefully, as he placed his own card back in his pouch. "For now," Naruto said under his breath. "Excellent. Now as I recall, you all requested for Rock Lee, Naruto Senju and Ino Yamanaka of Konoha. And Yugito Ni of Kyumo, and Gaara of Suna," Kabuto said, as held the deck of card in his hand. And with a quick swipe, he is now holding 5 cards in his fingers. "Here they are," Kabuto said, as he shows them the 5 cards. "Show us," Sasuke demanded. "Okay, first up is Rock Lee," Kabuto said, as he used his chakra to reveal the card's secrets. "Looks like he's about a year older than you guys. Mission experience, 11 C ranks and 20 D ranks. His squad leader is Guy. In the last 12 months, his taijutsu has radically improved, but his other skills are pretty shaky. Last year, he got a lot of attention as a genin, but for some reason, he chose not to participate in the Chunin exam. This will be his first time as a candidate, same as you guys. His teammates are Tenten and Niji Hyuga," Kabuto informed. Hearing Niji's name made Hinata frown slightly. "Okay, now for Gaara of the dessert," Kabuto said, as he used his chakra to reveal the card's secrets, mission experience, 8 C ranks and, get this, 1 B rank as a genin. There's not a lot more information on this guy, but it says here that his squad leader is Baki, and his teammates are his older siblings, Temari and Kankuro. He was a rookie from another land originally, but there is this, he survived every mission, without getting a scratch on him," Kabuto said with great awe in his voice, while shocking everyone else. "That dude's done a B rank as a genin, and he has never been injured?" Kiba asked, slightly worried. "This must be his tailed beast's power. I heard the one tail is known to have the ultimate defense," Yugito thought. "Wow, Gaara-kun is amazing. Not even a scratch, once. He's just like me," Fu thought excitedly. "Now, next up is Ino Yamanaka," Kabuto said, as he used his chakra to reveal the card's secrets, mission experience, 97 D ranks and, wow, 2 C ranks turn A ranks. Says here, that she specializes in katan, fire style, ninjutsus, and is highly gifted with her clan's telepathic abilities. Her squad leader is Asuma Sarutobi, of the 12 Guardian Ninja, and her teammates are Naruto Senju and Shikamaru Nara. It also says that she is the runner-up of the Kunoichi of the Year in her class. Kabuto informed. Ino's suspicion of the silver-haired boy is growing even more now. How the hell does he know all of that? It felt creepy. Like she was being watched. Naruto felt the same for her sake as well. If he knew that much about Ino, he might know a lot more about him as well. Everyone else was very impressed with Ino's achievements. Who knew, she and her team were so active that they are willing to do 97 D ranks. Also the fact that they had done 2 A ranks as well, which means they've fought against strong enemy shinobis. Sakura frowned slightly, as she looked down very disappointed in herself. Her best friend and rival is actually a strong and capable kunoichi. Yugito on the other, was intrigued. Maybe the Yamanaka is tougher than she looks. Next up, is Yugito ni. Kabuto said, as he used his chakra to reveal the card's secrets, mission experience, 55 D ranks, 10 C ranks and, wow, another one, 2 B ranks. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get much vital information about her, since she is from another village. But it says here, that her taijutsu style is very unorthodox yet deadly at the same time. She is also a katan, fire style, specialist, which is considered rare in the land of lightning. Her squad leader is Darui, the Raikage's right-hand man, and her teammates are Karui and Omoi. Some even reported that she is the strongest kunoichi in Kyomo. Kabuto informed. Wow, color me impress, future Raikage, Naruto said with a teasing tone, to the blonde Kyomo girl. Arara, keep that up and you'll make blush, and hot, Yugito said with a smirk. I swear to God. Ino was about burst into flames, but was thankfully stopped by Naruto, who held her hand firmly, which manages to calm her down. Last but not least, Naruto Senju. Kabuto said, as he used his chakra to reveal the last card's secrets, mission experience, 97 D ranks and 2 C ranks turn A ranks, same as Ino. But get this, it says here he also has 1 S rank. This made Kabuto turn his attention to Naruto, who was now giving him a more suspicious glare, while everyone else except Ino and Shikamaru were gasping in surprise. S ranks are considered top secret that is only assigned to elite ninjas. Apparently, he was personally trained by the 3rd Hokage himself, and was given the title as his apprentice. Some even nicknamed him the 4th Sannin. Everyone is practically staring at Naruto with awe and jealousy in their eyes. At this point, his speciality is Suiton, water style, and Futon, wind style, ninjutsus. It is also reported that he is sensory ninja. Kabuto said nervously, feeling that Naruto might discover his and his master's deception. A side note here, he was declared a great hero by 2 countries, the land of tea and the land of waves. His squad leader and teammates are the same as Ino's. Kabuto informed, as he carefully analyzed the blonde 13 to 14-year-old, in front of him, who is possibly a potential threat to his master's plan. So he doesn't know about my Hyoton, my heritage, or Karama. That's a start, but the fact that he knows about my S-rank mission, which was Mizuki's assassination, means that this guy is no doubt a fucking spy. But a spy for whom? Naruto thought. Sasuke and Kiba were filled with jealousy towards Naruto. Hinata, Sakura and Fu simply smiled with pride at him. Choji was too busy eating his chips. Shino was hard to read, as always. Karui and Omoi felt slightly nervous if they ever encounter the blonde Senju. Yugito on the other hand, was practically biting her lip from arousal, which did go unnoticed by the Ino, whose hair is practically on fire due to her growing rage towards the blonde Kyomo girl. Shikamaru thought the attention was too troublesome. Kabuto then took out another card and revealed its secrets. Revealing another map that shows the number of candidates from each village. Konoha equals 75. Suna equals 30. Kyomo equals 12. Taki equals 12. Kusa equals 15. Aim equals 21. Oto equals 3. From the looks of it, they've all sent exceptionally skilled candidates to the exam this time around. Of course, Oto, or the Hidden Sound Village, is small. It sprang up recently, so no one knows anything about it. Those guys are a complete mystery, Kabuto pointed out. But apparently his arrogant assumption had caught the attention of the only 3 Oto ninjas in the room, and they did not look amused. Well, you get the point. The competition is going to be intense this year, Kabuto said, as he placed his deck of cards into his pouch. So, it would seem. It's almost enough to make you lose your confidence, Hinata said nervously. Come on, Hinata. Don't talk like that. Ino reassured, she never likes it when her Hyuga best friend doubts herself. Do you really think it's going to be tougher this time? Sakura asked. Oh yeah. In the 4 years I've been coming, I've never seen a crop of candidates with as much potential as this bunch. Especially people like Naruto and Yugito, here. Yep. We've got our work cut out for us, Kabuto admitted. In the crowd ahead, Gaara and his sibling were simply staring at the small gathering of Konoha, Kyumo and Taki genins. His gaze, however, was completely locked on Fu. He didn't appreciate that she was asking about him. Was she trying to find his weakness, so she can erase his existence? No. He will erase her first, along with her friends. That's the same kid as before, isn't it? The one that put a kunai on my throat, Kankuro asked, as he glares angrily at Naruto. It was your own dumb fault, in the first place, Kankuro. You should have just let the little girl go, Temari pointed out. How the hell am I supposed to know that Runt was that fast? Kankuro argued. Niji, Rock Lee and Tenten were staring as well. Niji was practically glaring daggers at Hinata, Rock Lee was deeply focusing on the conversation they were having, and Tenten simply stared at Naruto with a longing gaze. She still remembered how cute he was when they first met, but now he is like a totally different person. He was man, now. A very attractive man, at that. Could you stop staring at him, Tenten, Niji said out of annoyance. No. I wasn't staring at him, Tenten said embarrassingly. That Naruto-san sure has a lot of spunk. He might have bested me, but it will not happen again, Lee said determinedly. Somewhere among the crowd, a red-headed Kusa Kunoichi with glasses was also staring at the small group of genins at the back. She has always been the curious type, so she couldn't help herself. Those young shinobis at the back of the class were likely the same age as her, and she even heard that one of them is a great hero. She saw the blonde boy with the red jacket, and for some unknown reason she felt very drawn to his chakra. It felt so bright and warm, and surprisingly cool, at the same time. Karen, what are you doing? Asked by a male Kusa ninja, who is probably the girl's teammate. Nothing at all, the now identified Karen said, as she went to rejoin her annoyed-looking teammates. Then there was another trio of young genins, all dressed in black. One was a boy with pale white skin, and another boy with long black hair. And then there's their female teammate, whose lifeless face is covered with a porcelain mask to hide her identity. The mask resembles a yin-yang circle, as in one side is pure white, and the other is pitch black. I have located our secondary objective, Tanuki-san, Sai informed, as he saw Karen sitting down. Good. Remember, Danzo-sama wants her alive. If she passes the first stage of exam and reaches the second, we are ordered to eliminate her teammates and capture her, by any means. Our priority is simply recognizance, as in we don't need to reach the third stage. Once we have Danzo-sama's prize, we'll return to headquarters. Tanuki informed in whisper. Very well, Tanuki-san, Sai said with a fake smile. Don't give me that fake fucking smile, you idiot, Tanuki said out of annoyance. Sai immediately loses his fake smile, and went back to his blank look. Tanuki then noticed Yakumo was staring at the small group of genins at the back, particularly teammate. "What are you looking at, Yakumo?" Tanuki asked. "That is Kurina Yuhi's team, is it not?" Yakumo asked with a lifeless tone. "Yes, according to our reports, the one with the dog is the Inuzuka clan heir, the one with the shades is the Aburame clan heir, and the pinkette is Kurinai's apprentice," Tanuki pointed out. "Apprentice," Yakumo said with a lifeless voice, but Tanuki noticed she was tightening her fist, as a clear sign of anger. "Yakumo, you are not feeling emotional, are you?" Tanuki asked with narrowed eyes. Her fist immediately loosens, as she turns to face her squad leader, with her lifeless eyes. "No, Tanuki-san. I have no identity, no will, no past. The only thing that matters is the mission. My purpose is serve Danzo-sama, and Danzo-sama alone. And forfeit my life, if the village demands it. This is the way." Yakumo recited the root creed, as she has been succumbed to Danzo's brainwashing. "This is the way," Tanuki repeated with a smirk. Somewhere among the crowd, 3 Oto shinobis were glaring at Kabuto with annoyance. How dare he mock their village? You heard what he said about the Hidden Sound village? He called us little. A mystery. Zaku asked with venom in his voice. I heard. Dosu responded. I say, we teach this guy some manners. Kin suggested. Hell yeah. Time to clear up some of the mystery for him. Update his information. Let him know that if you insult the Oto shinobi, you better be ready for the consequences. Dosu stated. You ready? Kin asked. Let's do it, Zaku responded. In a dash of speed, all 3 Oto ninjas made their way towards Kabuto. They were surprisingly fast, which only a handful of people were able to spot them, including the silver-haired boy himself. Dosu then lifted his right sleeve, revealing some sort of gauntlet with 4 holes at the forearm area. Zaku then jumped upwards, and threw 2 kunais towards Kabuto, which he was able to dodge in time. But it was all a trap. Dosu was now right in front of him, causing everyone to gasp in shock. Dosu charges his gauntlet-wearing arm towards the silver-haired boy with all his might, but Kabuto had faster reflexes, and was able to dodge the strong right hook from the Oto ninja. Most of them were surprised that the friendly older Konoha genin was as slippery as a snake. He is definitely far more skilled than he let on. Kabuto smirked victoriously, since he was able to dodge their attack, but was surprised when the lenses of his glasses suddenly cracked, and the pieces fell on the floor. Oh, I get it, so it was that kind of attack, Kabuto said smugly, as he took off his glasses. What the hell? I saw him dodge that attack. How did his glasses break? Sasuke thought. It must have come closer than it looked. Look at him acting like it was nothing. Real tough guy. Shikamaru thought about Kabuto. Naruto was narrowing his eyes in thought, wondering how it happened, like everyone else. I see, that guy uses sound to attack. And that gauntlet on his arm is some sort of amplifier, which he uses his chakra to redirect sound waves to his enemies. If that's the case, Kabuto will likely. Naruto couldn't finish his train of thought when he saw Kabuto suddenly gasping, as fell on his knees and vomited. He even dropped his glasses on the floor. Kabuto! What's wrong? Kiba yelled out. Everyone was staring at shock, except Naruto and all those who managed to figure out the attack. Kiba and Sakura immediately went to help Kabuto. Kabuto, are you okay? Sakura asked out of concern. Yeah, I'm fine. Kabuto answered weakly. Not such a tough guy, after all, I guess. Maybe that's why he's on his 7th try. Dosu said mockingly. Write this on your little card, punk. The genins from Oto will become Chunin when this is over. Guaranteed. Zaku boasted. Suddenly, a large burst of smoke appeared at the front of the class, getting everyone's immediate attention, revealing Ibiki Marino and a squad of Chunins behind him. Alright, you baby-faced degenerates. Pipe down and listen up. It's time to begin. I am Ibiki Marino, your proctor. And from this moment, your worst enemy. First of all, you candidates from Odo. Knock it off, before I kick you out. Who told you, you could fight? You want to be failed before we've even begun? Ibiki yelled out. Sorry. It's our first time. Guess we're a little jumpy, sir. Dosu said with a fake innocent tone. Ibiki simply scoffed at the bad excuse. I'll say this once, so listen up. There will no combat between candidates. No attacking each other without the permission of your proctor. And even then, the use of fatal force is strictly prohibited. Anyone who even thinks of messing with me will be disqualified immediately. Got it? Ibiki warns. Everyone remained silent, not daring to respond. No fatal force. That's no fun, Zaku said under his breath. Now, if we're ready, we'll proceed to the first stage of the Chunin exam. Hand over your paperwork. In return, you'll be given a number. This number determines where you will sit. We'll start the written test once you've all seated. Ibiki informed. As Kiba and Sakura helped Kabuto up on his feet, Naruto picked up his broken glasses. He stares at them for a moment before he walked towards the silver-haired boy. I like your glasses, Naruto said, as he handed them over to Kabuto. Oh, thank you. They are my most precious gift, Kabuto said with a warm smile, as he took the glasses from Naruto's hand. I'm sure the person who gave it to you is very special. Naruto said with narrowed eyes. Yeah, she was. Kabuto said sadly, which immediately broke Naruto's heart when he heard the was. This bastard knows what happened to his mother, and he'll find out, for sure. Well, I wish you all best, Kabuto-san. Let's hope 7 is your lucky number. Naruto said, as he placed his hand on the silver-haired boy's shoulder. Thanks, Naruto. I wish you the best, as well, Kabuto said with a smile, as he walked away, to hand over his paperwork to get his seat number. Unbeknownst to him, Naruto had placed his Hiraition seal on both his glasses, and the back of his shoulder. If you did what I think you did, Kabuto, I swear, I will rip off your spine. Naruto vowed. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this what if and want to see next part of it, comment down below and let me know. Also share this video with your friends. See you in the next video. Peace.